News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to 13 News Tonight at 10. I'm James Stratton.
And I'm Mary Sugden. On this day 1 year ago, daily life as we knew it started to change due to COVID-19.
Now, 1 year later, a major announcement from the president.
I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1.
In his first primetime address, President Joe Biden says the goal is for you to celebrate a small 4th of July gathering. To get there, he plans to make everyone eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine by May 1st. You just heard him. But by May 30th, he says there will be enough vaccines available for everyone. And 1 year after COVID-19 changed our lives, more than 10% of Illinoisans are vaccinated. At this time last year, there weren't even enough COVID-19 tests to give everyone who needed one. Now, more than 3.6 million COVID-19 vaccines have been given in our state. We've made it a year, and the light at the end of this tunnel continues to get brighter. Here's a timeline of what else happened at this time last year and how far we've come since. 2 days after COVID-19 became a global pandemic on March 13th, then President Donald Trump declared COVID-19 a national emergency. He also issued a travel ban for non-U.S. citizens. March 19th, California became the first state to issue a stay-at-home order, and then the next day, Illinois followed suit with its own statewide stay-at-home order.
And today, a year later, how do we get out of this pandemic? President Joe Biden laid out how he plans to do it. NBC's Alice Barr has more.
Tonight, in his first primetime address, President Biden voicing a collective sense of grief and hope, exactly 1 year after a frightened nation began slipping into a pandemic lockdown.
We are bound together by the loss and the pain of the days that have gone by. We're also bound together by the hope and the possibilities of the days in front of us.
The president honoring more than 500,000 American lives lost to COVID-19.
While it was different for everyone, we all lost something.
With vaccines now offering a potential pathway to normal, President Biden announcing every adult will be eligible for a shot by May 1st.
We will launch, with our partners, new tools to make it easier for you to find the vaccine and where to get the shot.
He's also pushing to reopen schools within the next 50 days, while urging everyone to do their part, get vaccinated, keep wearing masks, to get to the goal of safe, small gatherings by the 4th of July and celebrate with new meaning.
Where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we begin to mark our independence from this virus. But to get there, we can't let our guard down.
Earlier today, the president signed a massive COVID relief bill into law. The White House promising stimulus payments will start going out as soon as this weekend. Help on the way for Americans fighting through the year-long crisis of COVID-19. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
As for when things could start getting back to normal, Dr. Fauci said today if vaccinations keep ramping up and we continue public health measures like masking, we could start to see a big difference by the end of summer.